What is up, it's JG603, owner and operator TSW, back with another hot power rankings. We are 1 week away from Halloween Havoc, and oh, did we shake things up yet again. Let's check it out. And starting things off this week, of course, coming in at 40, very surprising considering wasn't even listed and lost this week. But you got to consider the people on the outskirts here. You will see no more Fen, no more Swain. Swain inactive, Fen just done been losing a lot. Cashier though, right on the outskirts. You know, right up there, Meme right up there, among some others. But Chef here real quick, despite the losses, is a good spot. Great showing through most of that match. Didn't really end up the way he wanted, but you know, big tag match coming up, pay-per-view. I think he's in a great position to get a little bit of a resurgence here. In TSW, of course, previously unranked, also unranked, jumping into the top at 39 is going to be 1Z Rocker. Again, kind of a victory and defeat, really good showing against Animal, and I think he's someone who, while hasn't necessarily had the greatest win-loss record, continues to do a lot of good in 1 TSW. That was someone who's done a lot, has a lot of good, but like where they're going right now, big tag match coming this week. We're talking DT Wings, ladies and gentlemen. 1 DT Wings here, actually moving up a spot, kind of, again, by default with those guys moving up into the rankings. Some guys dropping out the rank, kind of a funky week. But the next couple, we're going to rapid fire, and you'll see why. We got DT here. We're going to put Cap ahead of him, of course, as a former champion, and then Tony as kind of the ringleader of this group. They've struggled, certainly, has Team America, Team USA. But big tag match, or potentially a handicap match if Emma can't find some backup. But I feel like against Tony, you don't have to look far to find someone who wants to pick a fight with that guy. But of course, Team America here clumped up. See if they move up the rankings there at 36. Again, Cap, by the way, 31 back to 37, big fall there. And then Tony just one back. Falling back a couple spots inactive this week was Chico from 33 to 35. Bit of an issue with the rankings a week ago, misplacing his location, but is certainly in a good spot right now. I do believe he'll be in action this week. We know that there's going to be, as there often is, some form of rumble at the pay-per-view, and I hear a rumbling that a lot of these guys in the power rankings are going to see their way into that matchup. We got a guy who's been a big part of some early pay-per-views, been not super active, taking some losses lately, going from 32 to 34. We're talking 1 Shrades and his tag team partner, Rowdy. Shrades dropping back 2, Rowdy dropping back 3, 4 even, from 29 to 33. Tag team certainly will get back together at some point. Tried to get into some singles competition, didn't really work out well for either of them, so I certainly think they're gonna end up clumping back together. Moving on over to 32 here, right outside the top 30. We're getting spicy now, guys. We got Stony dropping from 30, Stony inactive a little bit, taking some loss a little bit, but has had some fantastic showings as of late in the matches. He's gone real late in some of these showings, including going to the wire with AJ in that Universal Qualifier, as well as, you know, his King of the Ring performance. Got to give a little extra love to 1 Stonicus, and here maybe a bit of surprise. We got Dargan from 36 to 31 now. This is regular Dargan, not necessarily dressed up, but he's always dressed to impress. Of course, currently the squire of 1 King Ched. So excited to see how that plays out with pay-per-view right around the corner. Dargan starting to heat up a little bit. Is this the change he needed under the sizable wing of 1 Ched? And we hit 30 here. We got Craigie dropping back from 28. You know, similar situation to Stony, great showings, hasn't really gotten those big wins, but certainly going to be a part of the pay-per-view, certainly going to find a way to get him involved, and I think it's not going to take long for Craigie to get some momentum building back again in TSW. A couple away from the top 25. We got Bama falling out the 25 and 24 to 29. Of course, challenging for the tag titles. Lost this week to Toxic Tina, Chaotic Tina. And it's going to be a big pay-per-view. You know, Bama with a chance to win back those tag titles, be a 2-time tag champion, of course, former women's champion, alongside Masuda, which we'll see in a little bit here. But Bama, again, one of these people just a win away from jumping up these rankings. Falling out the top 25 after a nice debut there is going to be Frosty, the masked man himself. Again, we're going to see him again. Looked fantastic in the ring. Really good showing against LB. Despite it being 0-2 falls, I think that easily could have gone 2-1 to Frosty a couple spots there, but excited to see what's next for him. Also falling out of the top 25. Some big shakeups here today, guys. We got Raw Dog. We showed him a lot of love, some great performances in qualifying matches, but this week, not technically in match, but certainly taking a loss here. You know, the sneak attack by the Disciples, Mask ended up off as he's getting pulled out of the ring by the officials, because man, did he take a beating there. But we can confirm Raw is a Disciple, is part of the group with Joker, and we're not sure. There's another one. We don't know if they're here. I don't know. You know, a lot of intrigue with that storyline right now, and we cannot wait to see how it continues to play out in the upcoming months, weeks, or days, even if that's the end game for it. You know what I'm saying? You know. If this is the end game, though, I need my Avengers. And we got some Avengers, but we're not touching on those yet, because we got one more spot before the top 25, coming in at 26. Up big from 37. We're talking the Sap Daddy, the Clap, and Sap connection, of course. Sap, huge singles win this week, building up towards this big tag match on pay-per-view. Sap starting to get things going since he separated from Congregation. We've seen in TSW, it's all about who you align yourself with. Dargan gets away from Brandon, gets on with Ched. Brandon starts doing well. Dargan starts doing well. It's part of the equation. Sap separates. I think Chef's looked pretty good since separation. Fen, mind you, not so much, but Sap looking good since that separation. But here we go, guys, up to the 25th spot. We talked about needing my Avengers, and here we go with one of them. We got my man Prodigy up into the top 25, jumping from 34 to 25. First time in the power ranking top 25 in a little bit. Been a tough pass. Easily could have won that steel cage, and who knows, maybe could have beaten the hardcore champion. Maybe would have a whole different storyline going right now. But indeed, Prodigy take a couple tough losses. Had the main event against Joker, did get the win there, so had to give him a huge bump, especially with this whole storyline percolating right now, and someone who did return, not in action, but definitely got an action in that main event. We're going to talk about Deekster from 27 up to 24. Inactive, of course, a bit of an emergency situation in TSW. He was able to cut that out, take care of it, but he's back. He's ready for War Games at Halloween Havoc. I cannot wait to see what's next for Deekster after that as well. Of course, formerly Cruiserweight champion, you might forget that, and we can't wait to see what's next for the Iceman. Big week ahead for Deek. Bigger week ahead for Emma. Drops from 19 to 23. Long-standing rivalry with one dastardly dog that's known as PA Tony. Emma, of course, can't get that title win, but has gone toe-to-toe with some of the best and put on some stellar performances. Looking to wrap some back up for that matchup against Team America. Excited to see what Emma can scrap together and hopefully take Tony down a peg. Right here, staying pat at 22 is going to be the Clap Daddy. Johnny Collapse himself. Johnny, elite, incredible debut. Not a great showing subsequently against Animal, but love this man's energy, charisma out the wazoo, baby. And Clap Rose and give opportunities. We're gonna give that man as many shots as he can to get some big matches here in TSW. And I think this tag match is just another stepping stone. Little exclusive here on the rankings. The winner of Congregation verse the Clap and Sap Connection will have a tag team title match against the winner of the Legion of Boom and the Birds versus Boom. Of course, I'll be inside Hell in a Cell. So Clap could easily see himself a week or two away from challenging for the tag team titles here in TSW. And talk about tag teams, former tag team champion. We're gonna tap in on the Mrs. Hoodat here at the 21 spot. Staying pat, doesn't move, not in action, not doing anything bad, not else doing anything great, but Miss Hoodat double duty at Halloween Havoc, which another little breaking news piece here, guys. We can confirm Halloween Havoc will be taking place. See where we're going here? New Orleans, Louisiana, baby. A little voodoo magic for Halloween Havoc. Can't wait to see how that all is going to play out. So Miss Hoodat, of course, in the hometown, double duty, going for the tag titles against Toxic Attraction, and going to win back, or try to win back, the Women's Heavyweight Championship from one Blue-Eyed Witch, aka Steph, who is certainly farther up on these rankings, so we can't wait to see how that plays out. Talking about things that are going to play out that have been insane as of late, dropping back from 10 to 20 after a huge loss in that main event. Gonna be Joker PhD again. Probably need to get some new renders for these damn power rankings. That man is not the man that I know. The demon of death, the disciple one of the creators of Pain here, Joker. Again, a guy who has not gotten the gold in his hands, but has fought for gold, has fought young and old, has fought everybody here, and steps into war games. And, you know, I think it does go without saying, while this is a wild storyline, end of the day, you know, if the disciples, the creators of Pain, if these guys win war games, they're beating 4 legit talents, and they're probably going to get some shots at the top of the card in TSW. So that's going to be absolutely terrifying to see how that plays out. And now we crack into number 19 here, dropping back just one spot. We're going do not here. Really only moved back a spot due to just the logistics of other people going ahead of him. Not in action, but a big win last week, of course, over one Swanee. And this week, his tag team partner, B. Sanders, getting the win over DJ Sanders. They're going from 2018. We have a little bit of a little flipping in between situation there. B. Sanders, we know we always say, is arguably the better half of the team, but they've been really gelling together since, you know, kind of a bit of a heel team here. And I don't know if they want to go full heel, but they certainly have shown a harder edge, is what we'd say, you know. And just really excited to see what these guys can do, going back into Hell in a Cell, looking back those tag titles, going hard in the cell. Hard in the cell like we're going hard in the paint. We're talking Brandon 2K, the baller, baby. Gonna fall back one again just to the logistics of it. Technically, well, no, you know, lost, did lose. Straight up, you know, he did lose to Finn. A little controversy, of course, post-match skirmish. Well, not really a skirmish, more of a beatdown, compliments of one landmark. A little post-match security, drag him apart. And we were really fighting with this. Do we give Landmark something fresh? And, you know, in terms of stipulations, you know, and I'll be honest, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we can confirm Landmark last ham standing. Let's see what Brandon 2K can do in that bad boy. It's gonna be a really fun one. We'll be on pay-per-view. Stole the show last time, did Landmark, and a pay-per-view last time, and even on TV as well. So we're really excited to see how that plays out. Certainly, again, we'll see Landmark farther in these rankings. But some big news in these rankings, guys. If you're not watching these rankings videos, you're missing a lot of information on upcoming programs. Coming in at 16th, moving back 2 spots. We got one Yimmy, of course, primed for the Elimination Chamber at Halloween Havoc. Just hit something on my desk. Inactive this week, but looked really good recently, man. He's always been just on the edge of greatness. So huge match coming up for Yimmy at the pay-per-view, as is for the next few guys. You know, when these situations come up, we like to clump them together. Up and Adam's gonna stay right there at 15. Not in action, beat the piss out of the Powers of Pain. Man, him and CJ are dastardly little dogs, but of course we'll step in Elimination Chamber, 1 of 6 people, but in there with CJ as well. So that's going to be really interesting to see what might happen and how that might end up playing out. Big jump in the rankings, going from 26th up to 14 into the top 25 again. It's our guy AJ, stole the show, 8-man match. You know what, actually? We're going to call a live audible here. We'll tap on AJ in a minute. We got to call a live audible here, guys. Big time, coming off that great last Sam standing match. Surprise entering that qualifier and qualifies. Excited to see him back in a big match. Hopefully we'll see a second title reign for Big Time in a different division this time. But this man beat 7 other people. Straight up. You can't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of losses recently. And mind you, he's not coming off a title reign like Big Time is. But man, AJ going through 7, arguably the 7 of like maybe the 10 best wrestlers in TSW. That was not a cakewalk matchup. AJ shocking the world, will step into the Elimination Chamber as the final entrant. And it's funny, I did mention this, I don't remember if it was on recording or off, so I won't mention it as a fun little anecdote. there was no way he wasn't going to end up in this match. Now, this was certainly the unexpected way to do it, but I was going to have someone get taken out because the storyline's there for AJ to be in that match. And I was going to jump through some hoops, but you know what? He got the win. He got there anyway. But moving on to 12, the Dirty Dozen here, and someone who I arguably could have had AJ jump as well, but we're going to go with Phineas and Herb here, and part of the reason we're putting Finn a little bit higher, a little bit more recent success. And I really like this attitude change from Finn. I really like that, you know, he wasn't early on champion, but a really quiet month plus. And I think maybe the shunning of Landmark turning to, I believe, you know, catching some beers at a local pub following the London tour for TSW. I think he turned a leaf here, did Finn. And I think right now Finn is a favorite to win the chamber. I think the unlocking of that darker side, if you will, has really changed up the way he attacks his matches, and I've loved to see what Finn's had going as of late, and someone you love to see, at least I sure love to see. We're talking Mrs. JG. Of course, got a big win last week, was at number 10, just drops back one spot. We'll clump them together. Chaotic Tina's gonna hop into the top 10. First top 10 for Chaotic Tina here. Of course, big win over Bama this week. Both these two women's tag team champions. The titles don't show because you only have 7 official titles. We have 8 technically. But man, Chaotic Tina finally getting some momentum after some really dicey performances in the past since joining TSW from Be Caught Wrestling. But Chaotic Tina, of course, one of the tag team champions with a wonderful Mrs. JG, defends those tag titles at Halloween Havoc. Now, let's continue the rankings. Staying at 9 is going to be Swanee. Not a great showing last week. Not really effective this week. Got ejected. So Swanee, tag team champion here. Stay in the top 10. But a win here is going to reset this bad boy, certainly. You need a big win. You need a big win here, Swanee. Talking about the tag team. Need a big win. DJ Scorpio, former 2-time tag team champion. Former 3-time tag team champion, former champion with Raw, of course. So the only man to hold the tag titles of 2 different partners. Did hold the NXT title, but we of course had to move that back with some, you know, some conflicts with WWE. Want to use some wrestlers, some of the rights to their pay-per-view names and all that good stuff. So, you know, he did get the bad end of the stick, but I did tell DJ, I'm going to give you some love. Hasn't happened yet because he's been the tag team champion. But DJ, I do owe you a singles title shot at some point. But we don't like champs. So, for that reason, I'm out. Now, look at these rankings, right? And you're like, huh. Unless JG added a new champion or forgot a wrestler, we're missing someone. Well, no, we're not. Unprecedented placement for a non-champion. We have never had a non-champion ranked above 8, I do believe. No, 9, of course, because we're the tag champs. First time ever, and with the way this person's been running through this company, it's King Ched. I mean, it's King Ched, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? King Ched going up just 1 spot, but that is a big spot to go up, jumping DJs. Of course, DJ losing, King Ched momentum, just you can't stop it. It's one of the laws of force. Shout out Sir Isaac Newton, lifelong fan here. That's gonna stay in there. We don't do much editing, and that's gonna. Oh, that wasn't even funny. Just how dumb that was. My brain went, Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, King Ched, of course, pay-per-view title shot is Royal Squire at his side, and we can confirm the stipulation for this. That is going to be an Iron Ham match, of course. The big ham Ched coming in here, challenging for the title. An Animal, great showing over in foggy London town, baby. Great call back to the Ched promo, by the way, if you guys pick up on that. Probably didn't. Animal's got some Mystery Iron Man, so it's gonna be really interesting. Unstoppable Force meets the immovable object, and very few is as immovable as the 3-time, you're like, boxing? No. The 3-time women's champion, Steph, inactive this week, inactive right now. Nice win over Miss Chico last week, but getting ready for pay-per-view, you know. Steph's in a great spot, not a lot of challengers right now, but you line him up, she knocks him down here at number 6, right outside the top 5. And of course, the top 5, some of the best. Steph, by the way, dropping from 5 to 6, only because inactivity, where I feel like this guy, CJ Sauce, continues to at least get involved with the action. Of course, him getting a little bit more action put on some Lions fans, which I don't even know if everyone really picked up on that. Powers of Pain, of course, Bowers and Wisebone Lions fans, so maybe a little subtle subtle, not so subtle shot at AJ as well there. But coming in at 5, defends. Elimination Chamber, insane. I cannot wait for that one right there. Someone who hasn't been defending the title this week, last week, been caught up with some other stuff. Not sure if they defend a pay-per-view though, because they have a little bit more on their plate. We're talking LBJ in at number 4, back from number 3. Hate to put him back there. He's been phenomenal, and he's got my ass right now in this TSW warfare, baby. But you know, the people up in front of him been putting in some work. So I don't think this is an indictment of LB. I think this is just an endorsement of these individuals. Coming in at number 3, up from number 4, it's going to be Animal. Great showing against Z Rocker this week. Could easily jump a little bit higher, but I think the other folks, between recency and what they had going on this week, has really impressed. But of course, Animal versus King Ched, 3 versus 7 is going to be a fantastic matchup, the Iron Ham match. But talk about the hams, and here it is, number 2. Back from his 1-week stay as number 1, we have Landmark. BMI champion, stole the show, match of the year. We can now, of course, confirm last ham standing returns against Brandon 2K. Can Landmark steal the show one more time? I think it's possible. And depending, again, what happens at pay-per-view, these could flip again. But after this week, last week combined between the gauntlet, the triple threat defense, it's got to be Boxy at the top of the rankings. Gets that hot +3, which with his winning streak, I think he's literally at like 100 overall right now. So we've mentioned it on stream. Not sure it made anything here on YouTube, but in case, you know, guys don't catch up on everything that goes on live, we can confirm Boxy will be opening the pay-per-view as he often does. Now, typically the pay-per-view opens, we get a Royal Rumble, the winner faces Boxy. But Boxy is too good for one-on-one. Boxy's too good for 1v2, 1v4, 1v5, 1v9, because he got out the Eliminator. So, we're pulling a 1992 Royal Rumble, folks. Boxy will be defending the Hardcore Championship in a 20-man Royal Rumble. Boxy, not sure what number you're gonna pull, but may the odds forever be in your favor, sir. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out JG603 live on Twitch. Of course, TSW live over there, 1 to 5 on Thursdays. Halloween Havoc, less than a week away. It's gonna be killer, guys. Y'all been the best. Y'all been too sweet. So I'll see you next time. Woo. Appreciate you. Bye.